Today is the day that we've all been patiently waiting for. We've got the big block M2 on the dyno. Steve Morris and his son Kyle are here. I'm stoked. I can't wait to hear this thing.
Awesome. It's fired up.
All right, so we made...
Let's get right to it. This is fired up.
Yeah. We made 1150 on your dyno?
Yeah, 11, what was it, Kyle? 1150? 1156 or 1157, something like that on engine dyno, yeah.
So naturally, like obviously on a hub dyno, we're gonna lose some power from an engine dyno. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, and then with full exhaust. So I mean, on
True.
the engine dyno, we got big tube headers, short, just open exhaust. So it's interesting because this whole header setup you got on here is freaking super cool. I think we'll maybe lose a little bit on top, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. So you never know until you test. That's why we test.
Right. Spoon actually went ahead and added individual widebands on each runner.
Yeah.
So Freddie will be able to be in there and he'll be able to see the data and see like if one cylinder is a little bit rich, just by balancing out the air-fuel ratio of each individual cylinder, there's power to be had. The engine will run happier. You could prevent damage. So I'm curious, like, you know, we'll be able to see. We could do a dyno without any cylinder trim and then one with cylinder trim and see like what's on the table.
Yeah, just keep on working on it and see what it ends up. No, it should be awesome. And then I see that then you have O2s there back in the collector side too. So those are the main tune O2s probably what he's using it for. And then we just monitoring individual stuff.
It's been great having Steve and Kyle here. There's been lots of little things that we're kind of working through, little tweaks. Things right now that they're going through is just to get a really good like crank signal, just to make sure before he starts tuning that everything's super happy. But slowly but surely, I think we're about to get this thing ripped. We're actually having a big problem because Steve only knows American size wrenches. We only know metric. So he's like, I need a 1-inch wrench. And then everyone's like, what is that? Was that 20 mil? 21? What was it? 26?
I don't know, I got a 27 here. That looks about right.
Pretty crazy, it's like half full, right?
Yeah, that's my RV, not even.
730 foot-pounds of torque, and she ain't even revved yet.
She's just waking up.
Like it's nothing. I'm gonna be honest, I was worried we weren't gonna crack 1,000 on the main line. I feel like we're gonna crack 1,000 on the main line.
That wasn't.
Hey, yo, Matt Field was talking. He was like, yeah, he was like, you probably make like mid-8s on your dyno. Out of here, Matt.
He loves when I talk. Don't let me say something.
Yeah. Matt spent $1 million on an LS engine, 454. All right, now this is something new for us. I know the one thing that we have to check on this motor, what did you say, like every event? Check valve lash just to spot any issues?
Normally what we'll be doing, so we'll set this hot. So it's hot under load. This is where it's operating at normally. And then we'll have that number and then we'll see what it goes down to cold.
Got it.
So ambient cold temperature before you go race or after you're done, whenever. Come back and just check it cold. That way you're not, because it deviates so much, at every 10 degrees it probably grows, 4,000 or 5,000. So it's always just better to do it flat room temperature. Easy, don't burn your hands, and then you'll always be able to have that flat number of what we need.
Luckily, the guys knew that this would be a thing, so the way that everything's laid out, it's pretty easy to access the valve covers, all the hardware and everything.
Yep, comes right off.
I'm excited to see the process.
Rarely do things hot just because I don't like burning my hands, so that's why I just do everything cold. It just makes it easier. But I want to see where it's at in operating condition.
Yeah, me too. Are those technically rocker arms?
Yes.
That's a big rocker arm.
That is a rocker arm.
Crazy job. That's crazy how much stuff moves in there.
This angle.
Yeah.
Oh.
So in addition to you doing this, Steve, just to check clearances, from what I understand, this is also a good indicator if there's ever a problem happening. It'll help you catch it early.
If you got something that's moved and wrong, it's broke. Something's changed.
Got it.
Very rarely, everybody uses the wrong terminology, is they're overlashing the valves every event. No, you're just checking.
Got it.
That's all we're doing. We're just checking. We're not moving stuff. We're not adjusting. Yeah.
Okay.
Exhaust, 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 exhaust. Intake, intake, intake.
And I do intake when exhaust is closed.
Opening.
Okay.
So just when this starts to open, you're
Got
gonna.
it.
Okay.
Okay. Bump.
There you go. That's fine.
That feels pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. I just go down the row
Okay.
of the
So-
intakes and then come over and do the exhaust.
Bump. 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 No.
Yep. There you go.
That one's a little bit looser than the other one.
But still snug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
That was the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
Like,
Wide open.
wow.
That's insane.
I want to hear it from the back. Pause.
Hey Steve, is it cool like if 8 grand's the limit or if I just keep it there all the time?
Was that 8 grand?
This. Was it?
81.
81.
Dang.
He says that voids warranty if I go above 8, so we're Yeah, I feel like the whole like tone changes up top.
Yeah, for sure.
It sounds like, at first it sounds like an airboat, then it sounds like a monster truck, then it sounds, I don't even know what it
Airboat
sounds
truck.
like. Yeah.
Yeah. That might be the most American sounding thing I've ever heard.
I was saying the airboat fighter.
That's right. It sounds American.
I think I need these. Oh my god.
I was just asking Steve if this sounds like an old big block because I don't think I've ever heard one other than the one at your yard.
Yeah, like an old big block. No.
So it doesn't sound like an old big block.
No, not at all. No. It definitely, you can definitely hear the header in it. That tri-Y deal. They always have that really little bit of like a rappy. Just
Like raspy.
Yeah, just a little Yeah, it changes the note quite a bit. I think it sounds wicked. Cool.
Yeah. I like how the idle still sounds like real
Yeah.
chunky,
Yeah.
and then up top it gets a little bit more
Yeah.
high pitched.
Yeah.
I want to hear what it sounds like driving outside.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like it's so hard here because you're either it's too loud where you have to plug your ears, and when you plug your ears you can't like really hear it.
Yeah.
So where we're at right now is about 950 horsepower. I think Freddie's found the timing to be pretty on the money. From here on out, I imagine Freddie will probably play with fueling a little bit, maybe see if there's anything to be gained by trimming cylinders, but apparently they all looked pretty even. So
Sick.
it's cool to know that for sure, because I know we were wondering when we had it on your engine dyno.
Yeah.
A little bit of assumption. And in general, on my intake manifold like that, on that billet manifold, they're pretty darn good. There's not a lot of trim
Yeah.
that we need to do. If there was 5%, I'd go, good. If I've never seen one that's like 10 or something.
Look, I don't want to jinx us, but this was an insane effort from everyone that was involved in this project to get to this point. The fact that Steve's been here for less than half of the day, not only is the car running, we got it dynoed and we're about to test it, is incredible. I should acknowledge the fact that this is an entirely new build, so we don't even know how the suspension's going to feel. Freddie did a pretty basic setup on it. This is really testing the engine. I want to make sure everything feels half decent. Then I'm gonna have Steve hop in and ride for the first official drift ride with me, because I'm a little way too excited for this thing.
Yeah.
Dude, this is just the free revving of like.
It's so exciting.
I've never done something before that makes my feel bigger.
Only
like,
smaller?
it genuinely is growing in size the more that I drive this.
You know, that'll happen.
It's really good for me at this point in my life right now to have this. All right, guys. First I'm driving the car around. Before I do anything, I'm just making sure brakes and everything work. So I don't go crash. God, this is gonna be nuts. I can't wait. We don't have a front sway bar, so it's gonna be a little bit, little sway at first. That's okay. God. I can't wait to drift this thing. It's good. The torque, just cracking the throttle. I think I want to do it. I'm gonna do a quick little skirt.
That's so dope.
Sounds so insane. Oh, I hope it comes through in the video.
I know, I hope so. My volume's turned so low right now.
Yeah, this thing's gonna be sick. Woo! This thing's gonna be insane, dude. It's crazy. Just cracking the throttle.
Yeah.
Every V8 I've driven has felt like a soggy bag of dicks. This doesn't feel like that. I mean, I know that I shouldn't expect it to, but that was crazy. I didn't know if the engine was smoking or if that's tire smoke. That's tire smoke. Why did it make so much tire smoke?
Big V8 motor.
Oh, maybe the cabin just needs to be sealed better?
Maybe.
I couldn't see very quickly. Steve, you want to hop in? Yeah.
First drift ride.
Yeah, I did one little corner. I'm gonna spank these tires like nobody's business. For a car that we've spent no setup time on, like it feels really good.
Sick.
I know I've done one corner, but like you usually get a pretty good idea by doing one corner.
Right.
I think I'm gonna take this to St. Louis.
Hell yeah.
No, I won't. It's not. My E36 makes a little more horsepower. We're gonna need some nitrous speed. But for this right now, first phase, it's really good. I feel like I could just start in second gear, honestly. Let's see how this goes. Incredible. I can't see though. Staying ice cold too. 180 water temps.
Holy crap. That is nuts.
That was great.
Yeah, goosebumps.
That's a car right there. Yo, 180 water temps after all that. It doesn't even get hot.
Wait, 147 on oil.
That weight in the back has no
The
sign.
brake pedals are a little bit scary because they go to the floor after I drive it.
Junk.
So the stopping is hard, but the going's really good.
Not knowing where you're going, that was the only thing. It's like, oh, just turn this way. Okay.
Don't worry, he's a pro.
I was
That was
really nervous.
awesome.
When we first entered, it wasn't slowing down like I expected.
Ah.
That was a little scary.
He said he got no
Right.
brakes.
Like this is very, very not regular for the first drift to go this well. Like the car feels fantastic, the engine feels fantastic, Usually me and Freddie are going back and forth for like 2 hours to like nitpick all these things, and
Feels fantastic.
I got no complaints. The limiter sounds a little weak, but I get why we got to do it like that.
Yeah, you're just pedaling it.
You didn't hit the limiter. I didn't hit it.
You'll never hit the limiter.
No, I think that was it. Go the
That's the throttle body going.
Yeah. Third gear was a little bit boggy. Like I think wheel speed wise, it's probably like somewhere between second and third gear. Second sick because it's just got the rip, rip, rip. Want to do it again?
Yes, I want to do it again.
All right, let's do it again. This thing's insane. Smoke is definitely a problem. Woo! What a car. Yo, you guys killed. Come here. What'd he say? What'd he say?
I touched Freddie.
It's going too well.
Cars go this easy. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
I know, that's what I'm saying, dude. The car feels fantastic. We have some really talented dudes on this project.
Yeah.
Like
For
Maple
sure.
Mike, Spoon, Steve, his crew, Sean,
Brian.
Owen, Freddie, Brian, Joshua, Ray. Who else am I missing? Cricket, me. I made one panel.
It's not even on the car.
Who else am I forgetting?
Andy Seahousing.
Oh, Andy Seahausen, big one. I'll shout out the dude that originally built the cage in the car too. I don't know your name, but good job.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, car feels good. Chris stops for all the stuff on the outside. How does it look from the outside?
Crazy.
Does it look like it moves good?
Yeah. What'd it do?
Oh boy. Tie rod's hitting the wheel or something.
Dude, the car feels incredible.
Yeah. It feels incredible from the passenger seat.
I mean, I know you've been in a lot of big block stuff, but I've never experienced them before. Like, I was kind of just being a asshole there, just going blah, 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 blah. That feels wild. That's my favorite thing.
Ever?
I'm gonna go through the pits and I'm just gonna be doing like wheelies, like ruff, 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 ruff. Like on turbo cars, it's always about tip in, like having that like crisp throttle.
Yeah.
But the car doesn't actually move when you do that.
Right.
This has the crisp tip in, but the thing does a wheelie when you do it.
Yeah. Just lights them off.
I already said it, but this is not a normal thing. Like we have a very special and talented crew of people to put together a car like this and to be able to go out in first lap, never driving this chassis before, never driving this engine before, never driving this specific car before, for it to that hard
Yeah.
is not a very normal thing. So I was hoping for the best, especially like being conscious of Steve and Kyle's time coming all the way down here, and I really wanted it to work well, and like it was not a small effort at all to achieve this, and I'm really happy that like it was basically it went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
It was like one crank sensor, and the tune is mint. I was saying in the car you couldn't hear it, but the tip in, it's like having really good tip in on a turbo car, but it actually does something. You know what I mean? So you could be driving around the park and it's like, I've never experienced that before, so that's really cool. Yeah, this thing's really good. I had something else relevant to say. I would love to hear this from the outside. I think tomorrow I'm gonna give a couple more rides to the boys that all helped on this. I think we're gonna call it today because we're all a little sleep deprived. Sean wants to drive it so bad. Yeah. Yeah. If this video gets 50,000 likes, I may let Sean drive it.
Oh.
I may, but it'll be the next video. Duarte, he can drive it. He doesn't need likes to drive it. All right, so I feel confident in saying this at this point in time. With the current status of the car, I'm gonna go ahead and say there's a 85% chance, there's a 100% chance that it's going to 4th of July. I'm gonna say there's an 85% chance that you guys will be able to see it ripping and do things. Obviously, unplanned things can happen, and I don't wanna say, hey, come to our July 4th event at Carolina Motorsports Park, the Drift HQ event. More information in the description to come see this thing in the event that something happens. But my backup car is also the 4-rotor Supra, which is arguably just as cool.
Yeah, I would say so.
And yeah, I was waiting for the comments from those guys. We'll pull that out maybe tomorrow. See, you'll be like, man, this thing is cool. Maybe I'm in the wrong business. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm kind of like at a loss for words because this is just, I knew it was gonna be good, but I just like didn't know what to expect. I've never even ridden in a big block car before.
Right.
So we'll resume tomorrow once I've regathered my thoughts. I want to be giddy and watch a couple of those clips, but thank you guys. This is a long time in the making.
Long time.
And I seriously can't believe how perfectly it went.
Yeah.
I'm very appreciative and very stoked on this. So if you remember when we were building the car, one of the things I was working on was making some delete panels to seal off the radiator. And if you look in here, you can see we've only used one set of tires on the car and the radiator is already sucking in rubber just because of it pulling around. So unfortunately, something I was really looking forward to doing was to remake this out of carbon, but I had Josh tap in because he's better at working with carbon than I am. And I was actually able to score a Ferrari race car radiator shroud from a good friend of mine that was thrown in the trash. And it had this perfect bend in it to where the idea was remake what I had, but use that 90-degree bend. So that way it could just mount up on this shroud here. You don't need to make any brackets. And it came out better than I would have ever imagined.
Yeah.
So Josh is killing it. And now the compartment will be sealed off. So it'll just be sucking in air through here rather than around the radiator, which will also make it cool a little bit better because it won't be sucking in its own hot air.
As if it needed it. This thing was cool. Like.
Yeah, it ran super cool. We're just trying to keep the cabin a little bit cleaner. So we'll also need to seal off this firewall a little bit better.
Yeah.
There's quite a few like cracks on the bottom, so Spoon was probably going to go in there with some tape, seal it off, and then there's also some holes in the wheel wells. The smoke is crazy. It just like it builds up, and there's looks for anywhere that it can go. And yeah, it sucks when you can't see because of it.
Yeah.
We weren't planning on it, but we got a lot of other random fun stuff happening right now, and I needed to get a quick clip to explain what's going on. Steve wanted to ride in the FD car, so
Yeah.
I assume you've been in some big power JZ cars? Yes?
No.
None?
Never.
Really?
I've never been in a JZ car ever, and I've
Wow.
never even torn a JZ engine apart ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And ironically, back here in the peanut gallery, we have the guy that's probably torn more JZs apart than anyone else. What are you doing here today?
Well, I wanted to have some friendly banter with Steve because we are entering effectively we're entering a durability test because we have this 632-inch big block Chevy aspirated, and we have this 2JZ boosted, and the paces that the valve train and the bearing system and the engine is going to go through is pretty cool. And last night I was scrolling and I saw the no replacement for displacement quote, which has been around longer than I've been alive, and we get to have a modern test of that because one of these two engines is going to break. I mean, like, it's the way it works. Like, nothing's forever, right? And like,
Yep.
and maybe
If
when
it moves, it's gonna break.
yeah,
Promise you.
if it breaks and we get to learn from it and make a better engine that your customers or my customers get to spend less money over time having more fun, it's a freaking win.
Yep.
But he's the beta tester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you look at those videos and he's flogging this engine on the chip,
Yeah.
he's going to do that to your engine too.
Oh, I know.
And it's awesome.
So really what he's here for is he's sweating because he's worried that we're going to replace the JZ and he's not going to have any customers anymore. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Ideally, you have both because
Yeah.
they have very different personalities.
They do.
Yeah.
It's blondes or brunettes. You know, it's going to be good.
Well,
either way.
we all know what we're all picking out of those two.
No.
I'll leave it at that. All right, so it'll be cool. Like it's your first JZ, but we're making 950 foot-pounds of torque, 1,100 wheels, so it's a spicy one.
Yeah. I want to see what it feels like.
All right, let's do it, and then I'll do a little chat to see what you thought.
drive it different.
Oh yeah.
I can feel it, yeah. And what you're doing.
You gotta think too, this car's had a lot of chassis setup.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that we could get the big block car to feel the same, but it takes time.
Yeah.
You feel it just pulling up the wheel and
Yep, yep.
it's good.
It's crazy.
You like
Very
it?
cool. Yes. He drives this car much faster
Yeah.
than the other cars. So, yeah, it's crazy. And yes, on the rev limiter more. I didn't notice the transition, the nitrous transition is really smooth, or yeah, so I didn't feel, or I thought maybe I'd like feel that or hear it or something like that. So that's really smooth. That's nice. And then that would be interesting how that works on the big block too. Yeah, it's faster.
Good first JZ experience?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's
Yeah.
a good motor.
It is. It's a good motor. It's just missing a couple cylinders. That's all.
Imagine if you could put another 2 on this. You're the guy.
Yeah, it's only money.
Yeah. Kyle, you want to hop in?
Yes, sir. That thing was nutty, dude. Totally different feeling and vibe coming from this car than the big block car. But yeah, this thing is a ripper for sure.
Oh yeah, thanks man.
Definitely.
Jay, you're up. Pretty wild, huh?
Yeah. It's got a lot of grip. When you want that grip, it's right there. Wow.
You see it picking the wheel up?
Man. It's not nothing.
I know.
So how was it?
Well, the amount of grip that's available at different times is like, the car's not as loose as it looks. It will plant and move fast. And to look over in the car and watch him drive the car and look at the look in his eye, and he's just like pretty unfazed, you know? Pretty amazing. That's that rally car guy stuff. I don't have it. I would find a tree. So yeah, that's pretty badass. Dude, that thing picks up like 20 degrees like that.
I feel like I've ended this video multiple times now, but there's just so much cool stuff going on. The car, for all intents and purposes, kind of looks the same from the outside, but the guys have been spending today buttoning up a lot of little last things, like sealing off the cabin, mounting body panels, alignment things. We went over to BC and got some stiffer springs for the front, which should help combat the fact that we don't have a front sway bar right now, which will give the car a little bit more side bite. Right now, Freddie's tweaking some things to make it sound a little bit cooler up at higher RPM, because as a reminder, we're not really running a limiter strategy. What we're doing is we're closing the throttle body up top, and I think yesterday it was kind of oscillating, and it almost made the car sound like it had like a really stock rev limiter, like the woo, woo. So now, the goal is to get it to a point where the grip and the throttle closing will just hold it at higher RPM. So it'll sound like the Mustangs going around the oval track. No bang bang bangs, because we're trying to be nice to the valve train. But I'll throw a GoPro in the car. Mike's going to be mainly shooting for reels. I want the first footage of this car on the internet to be like the sickest lap ever. Yeah, maybe we'll end the video after that, but okay.
All right, that was very successful. I just did 2 laps, completely full throttle. I guess you'll be able to see from the GoPro footage, but this thing definitely it's really good. It sounds good. There's a couple little things I'd like to change with it. We got a small little oil leak, so we got to address that. Braking system, we can use some adjustments, maybe change our master sizing. Angle kit, maybe a couple minor tweaks, but like it usually takes 10 setup days to get to the point where this car is now.
Right.
Like this is literally the super like fine tuning. So I'm excited, and I'm excited for you guys to get to see this at the July 4th event. So this will be my last time driving the car until it goes to the event, because I'm heading to Poland for Ultra Race, one of my favorite countries in the world. I'm not gonna say my favorite country in the world because U.S. might get mad. So I'll see you guys in Poland, or I'll see you at July 4th event.
When you said, when you said,
Yeah, this thing's gonna be sick.
Woo! When you said, nobody knows you like I